Just remember, FPL is tough, but you are tougher. Hi guys, I'm FPL Infria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Well, after a last minute fixture release before the social media boycott, I decided in a fit of madness to do a stupidly quick wildcard. Stupid being the operative word given everything that's happened since. Let's take a look at how I got on in my wildcard game week 34 before looking ahead to my potential bench boost double game week 35 preview. In my madness and with Martinez's confirmed double, I didn't even once think about switching him out for Mendy, and I'm absolutely kicking myself. Another clean sheet for Mendy and my rank absolutely plummeted, especially as Martinez conceded. Absolute oversight on my behalf. Even if I was going to keep Martinez, I should have made Mendy my second goalkeeper instead of Pickford. Absolutely shocking, and it's not where the bad swaps ended, unfortunately. My defence was the main reason for wildcarding to getting more doublers, and as you can see, that's failed miserably. Castagne, after 2 weeks of hauls, just fell off a cliff. I would have played Dallas anyway, so that's neither here or there, but Holgate was a new addition. Absolutely terrible. I didn't think I'd be sat here with just 6 points. 6 points from the whole of my defence. I sold Veltman with the 6 points, and as I'm recording this Monday afternoon, we'll have to wait and see now if Cody and Sufar results mean I stuffed up even further. Wow. I mean, you couldn't write it, could you? Held it this long, and I've absolutely butchered it. My midfield is relatively unchanged. Again, silly swaps. I sold Jota for Ndidi to free up cash for defence. My thinking was that Ndidi should hopefully play both Leicester matches, so hopefully a solid 4 points from him if I bench boost in the double game week. The Liverpool versus United game was postponed due to protests in the ground. Before it was called off, Jota was named on the bench. Now, I would have benched Jota this week, but possibly made the right call in terms of making that swap to free up cash. At the time of recording this, we are yet to learn of the rescheduled time for this fixture. If it happens to fall later on today on Monday, then I'll update you guys on my points from Salah and Bruno on social media on Tuesday and in a pinned post underneath this video. Otherwise, if it doesn't happen today, being Monday, which is looking more and more likely to be honest, then the thought process is that the reschedule will be that West Brom versus Liverpool in 36 moves to double game week 35, meaning that Man United versus Liverpool fixture will then move into blank game week 36, which means that Liverpool will have a double game week in game week 35 if that happens. And it also means that using my wildcard last game week was a terrible decision because Liverpool would have 2 plum fixtures in that double game week in Southampton and West Brom, and I am without both Trent and Jota now, and I don't have a wildcard in order to fit either of them in. I mean, to be honest, this couldn't be any more terrible. Honestly, in terms of wildcard, I really haven't played it well at all. However, I did agonise over keeping Sonny. Him and Jota could have become Zaha and Maddison this week, looking ahead to the double as we knew it before this postponed fixture. But I just couldn't let him go. I just had this gut feeling he would do well this week. I couldn't let him go. Thank God he didn't let me down with his goal and assist for 12 points towards my team total. Sonny has been fantastic for me this season. Really going to struggle now whether or not to lose him in that double game week, with him only having a single fixture. Tough one. Moving to my forwards, there was no change here. Harry as captain was a real disappointment. It was as bad as watching the Liverpool game last game week with Salah as captain, to be honest. So many chances wasted. With Bale on the pitch, Kane looks less likely to get a return, let's be honest. But there were a few assists and a few chances that really should have been his. Just the 1 week when you really need him to pull it out the bag, and he doesn't. I mean, I think I could see the frustration on his face too because he's chasing the golden boot, but you know, for us FPL managers, we needed those points this week. Watkins has been good for me since arriving last game week with a goal and assist in the last 2 game weeks. 8 points from him this game week from his goal and 2 baps. I also cannot complain about Nacho, returned every week since I owned him, appreciating his 5 points from him this week because every point counts. That means that my 3 wildcard top scorers for game week 34 so far at the time of recording this are It's a Sonny Day, Ollie, 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 oi, 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 and Nacho Man. At the moment, that puts me on 35 points, around 374,000. I'm recording this on Monday, as I said, so again, yet to see about the United versus Liverpool fixture. If Bruno and Salah don't play, then I will be getting Ndidi's 2 points and Konsa's 2 points off of my bench. Could have been getting Veltman's 6 points if I'd left my team alone. All in all, I think wildcarding when I did was very silly. I couldn't have seen this postponement, of course I couldn't, but if that fixture does get changed into a different game week, which it looks likely, having my wildcard would have been a massive advantage. Plus, just not using it to the best of its ability has absolutely annoyed me, to be honest. I think it got into my head that I wasn't being proactive enough this season, that I wasn't getting ahead of the crowd, you know, and there was not many game weeks left, so I kind of jumped on it. But yeah, it feels like it wasn't the right time to do it. Even though I planned until the rest of the season and I had a bit of a plan in place, I just maybe should have considered that given the season we've had so far this season. Anyways, it'll be hit central now until the end of the season, so it's going to be a lot of fun taking these hits. Stick with me on that whilst I chase this season like mad for the last few game weeks. With that, looking ahead to double game week 35, and this is how I'm currently lining up. At the moment, barring any injuries, I currently have 10 double game week players. Could be 11 if Salah becomes a doubler too. So I'll likely be bench boosting this week, I would have thought. Now, as I said, the reason I wildcarded was to go for it. I'm going big and I'm likely going home, to be honest, off of the back of it. But I wanted to be proactive for the last few game weeks. With the focus on double game week players, I did leave some single game week players in that I haven't been keen to sell or have a good fixture, with the thought of possibly hitting some of them out for the double game week. I am happy to take a -4 going into the double based on likely bench boosting, and I believe many will be taking hits this game week anyway, especially with things the way they are at the moment. I will wait late into the week before making any changes though to get all of the information, but at the moment I have a couple of options ahead of me with a -4. Should Liverpool get a double in game week 35, I could move out Kane and Dallas to get DCL and Trent. Kane hasn't really been looking himself, and with Bale back in the picture, that could deplete his output, as we've seen against Sheffield United. But I don't know how comfortable I feel about selling him with him chasing the golden boot. Or Lingard could make way for Jota. Lingard only has the single game week. Again, not necessarily keen to lose Lingard, but you know, if Liverpool have a double game week, then Jota could be a potential for that. Not sure if he gets the start though, given he was technically benched for this fixture on the weekend, so I'm not sure what happens there. But Lingard could make way for Jota and Dallas could become a double game week defender. Maybe Phillips, as he was named in the lineup before the game was postponed, so he looks like he's back. If Liverpool play later on today, that's Monday, or they don't get moved into 35 and their fixture gets placed somewhere else, I think it's very unlikely because there isn't much room for it to go anywhere else. The only way I can think of them doing it any differently is literally to tag it on to the end of the season. If it doesn't happen this weekend and it doesn't happen in 35, then I could take a risk on selling Son for the double game week, as he only has a single game week, along with Ndidi, and get in 2 more expensive double game week players, upgrading Ndidi even though he has a double for the likes of Greenwood, and then moving Son on to say a Maddison, Zaha or Sigurdsson, you know, 2 of any of those 4 for those 2 spots. But if Poole do get the double, which is looking more and more likely, if it doesn't happen this Monday, I could sacrifice Son's single again and chase that Poole fixture and get in Jota and Trent by selling Dallas on. In other words, it's a little bit up in the air still, Nim fam. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always much appreciated. I know I've come at you with a few hypotheticals this week as we don't know all of the information, but hopefully it's got you guys thinking along with me and we can navigate this bumpy road together. Get commenting underneath the video and let me know what you guys think. My bench boost captain at the moment is between Iheanacho or Fernandes. It's currently on Nacho, but he's been doing fine when I leave him alone and don't even look at him for captaincy. I'm a little bit nervous that if I captain him, it'll all go to put, to be honest. So let's see how brave I am nearer the time. If Pool get their double though, it'll be hard not to look past Salah, especially with those two fixtures, it's got to be said. Players I think could be worth some consideration for double game week 35 are Ward-Prowse. Southampton have been struggling, but Ward-Prowse has a goal and an assist in the last 2 game weeks. At just 5.8 million, he could be a cheap way into double game week points. And my second player is Evans. He does have a yellow flag, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. It seems I went for the wrong Leicester defender myself. Evans has 2 goals and 1 assist in the last 3 game weeks and could be worth a shout for his attacking threat alone in the double game week if past 5th. And lastly, moving on to the very early trending transfers this week, let's take a look at the players in and out ahead of double game week 35. Of the goalkeepers, Gaeta is the trendiest goalkeeper in with 8,000+ purchases at the time of recording. Mendy is the next highest goalkeeper in with over 5,000 buys. Martinez is the most transferred out goalkeeper with 6,000+ sales. The next highest out is Lloris with 3,000+ managers selling on the Spurs man. Of the defenders, Creswell is leading the way out owing to his injury with 48,000+ sales. The suspended Stones is the second most sold defender this week with over 35,000 managers selling on the City defender. Digne is the trendiest defender in this game week with 24,000+ purchases. Evans is the second most bought defender with over 19,000 buys. In midfield, Ward-Prowse is the trendiest midfielder in this week with 41,000+ purchases. Zaha is the second most transferred in with over 33,000 buys. Gundogan is the most switched out midfielder this week with 39,000+ sales. Jota is the next highest midfielder sold this week with over 28,000 managers selling on the Liverpool man. Up front, Bamford is the trendiest forward out this week with 65,000+ managers moving him on. Vardy is the second most sold forward this week with over 17,000 sales. Iheanacho is still the frontrunner in the forwards category this week with over 39,000 purchases. He is joined by Watkins with 31,000+ buys. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Lots of luck for double game week 35 and all of the twists and turns the rescheduling will bring us. One thing I noticed this weekend was that FPL wasn't anywhere near as much fun without being able to interact with my Nim fam on social media. So let's do our best to be kind and eradicate all online hate so that we can enjoy our time together on social media. Thank you all so much for watching. Before you leave, please check out the sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. And before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, Nimfria out.